Today on the B broadcast, we have two candidates vying for the position of Junior Vice President in the Sixth Form Association. We'll be speaking with youth parliamentarian with a new vision and a new direction, who promises to seek sponsorship from the Jamaica National Bank, and a Member of Parliament, Crystal Lee, for the renovation of two sixth form projects. St. Hilda's immediate past student, Shanice Davidson. Need someone to voice your concerns? Then Watson is the way to go. We have Students' Council sitting PRO, Nathaniel Watson, who says she's confident that she can bring unique and effective ideas to the SFA. I am Brianna Edwards, and this is the B Broadcast, brought to you by the B Broadcasting Commission, sponsored by the Yorkcastle High School Students' Council. More on this after the break. Welcome back to the B Broadcast. I am Brianna Edwards, your host, and with us are Shanice Davidson and Nathaniel Watson, both vying for the position of Junior Vice President in the Sixth Form Association. Good evening, Shanice. How are you doing?
Good evening, Miss Brianna. I'm doing great. So.
Very well, very well. Now, Shanice, tell us a little about yourself. Let the electorate know who Shanice Davidson really is.
So greetings on all. For those who do not know me, I am Shanice Davidson. I am one who's said to be determined, passionate, and reliable. Coming from St. Hilda's, most of the Yorkists would not know me or would not say that I am a true Yorkist, but as time goes by, you will be convinced. I am the youth parliamentarian of Jamaica. I'm the parish coordinator for St. Anne. Leaving St. Hilda's, I was grade 11 prefect, peer counselor, and I was a sports captain. And currently now at Yorkcastle High School in the 12 Humanities classroom, I am the form captain. And I am down to earth. Thank you.
Very well, thank you, Ms. Davidson. Greetings, Natania. How are you?
Greetings, I'm fine.
Very well, very well. Now, Natania, tell the electorate about yourself.
Well, I am a very jovial person. I am very dedicated. I'm friendly. I'm resilient, and I am, as I said before, I'm currently the PRO of the Students' Council. I am a prefect. In previous years, I was a prefect in grade 11. I was on the track team, was in 4-H and other social clubs, and I'm just a very nice person who is very dedicated, and I do whatever I set out to do.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. Ms. Davidson, right back over to you. And, let's start with your campaign flyer, which says Shanice Davidson for Junior Vice President, academic year 2022 to 2023. New vision, new direction, Davidson 2022. Now, what's the idea behind all that?
So as my slogan says, new vision, new direction. So Ms. Brianna, according to the Collins Dictionary, direct means moving towards a place. Just as how Jamaica has a 2030 vision for Jamaica to be the ideal place to live, work, raise families, and do business. My slogan, new vision, new direction, it's not a quick conversion, but rather it is a new direction would relocate your attention and for you to resituate your minds on the bigger and the brighter future that is with Davidson, because goals can be met when Shanice is in charge. I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davidson. And, any good leader would understand that this current academic year is 2021 to 2022, but your flyer says 2022 to 2023. What do you say to the experienced leaders that they should have confidence in you when you have campaigning with such inaccuracies?
Well, that was just a minor error, Miss Brianna, because I was not aware of the fact that we'll be just serving for a very short period of time for 4 months. I thought it was like a 1 year tenure. So that was just my mistake. No need to, put any type of, doubt in me because I can do what I can do the duties for junior vice president. So that was just a minor error to the audience that are viewing here.
But should the student populace, Ms. Davis, be concerned that you may also neglect or overlook their concerns if you're elected as junior VP?
My answer to that question, thank you for that question. I will not neglect my duties as junior vice president, nor will I be dormant in my tenure. Reason being, for such persons to get into the youth parliament of Jamaica, there are 14 persons in St. Anne, and there are 1,000 applicants that went out in the previous year that you went, but only 100 can be accepted. And from St. Anne, there were only roughly 3 persons selected, and me being one of those candidates. Coming from St. Hilda's, I have served, and any St. Hilda's person can testify to the fact that I do not have empty barrel promises. My promises that I make, I come with facts and I come with solids. And for even evidence or anything, my letter that was sent to Miss Crystal, which I met with, and other little birdie, which I will not disclose as yet, for the assistance towards our sixth form building, and that is being in the process. And for our prayer garden, no need to worry. I doubt you do not worry about that. That is going to be done.
Ms. Davis, thank you. Are we able to hold, though, a copy of that letter you said you sent out to Ms. Crystal Lee?
Yes, Miss Edwards, right after this meeting has ended, it will be sent in your inbox.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Ms. Watson, Students' Council sitting PRO now vying for the position of junior vice president in the SFA. If elected, how can you assure the sixth formers that you will not neglect your duties to serve in your role as PRO? Where does your loyalty rather, lie?
Well, my loyalty lies to York Castle High School. So whether I will be elected to be the next junior vice president or not, my heart lies at York Castle. So if I were to be elected, I would ensure that I have a very well set schedule to ensure I balance both being the PRO and the new elected junior vice president.
Okay, thank you, Miss Watson. And we're back to you, Miss Davidson. And it's addressed about your manifesto as well. The Member of Parliament, you said you'd have sent out a letter, but the MP, is busy with other issues affecting her constituency. Likewise, the JN Bank is currently navigating the effects of COVID-19. What assurance can you give the Yorkists that she'll be able to commit to your proposal as well as the JN Bank?
Well, in terms of that, thank you for that question as well. I didn't meet with her, but we were on the phone. She was at Kingston yesterday coming down because she couldn't be in her office due to her, her workers that were there, they had the COVID-19, so she could not be in the office. And while on that call, we were on a conference call as well, which I will not disclose the other person's identity. They are a past students, sorry for that noise, of the York Castle High School. And they said that while talking on the call, Ms. Crystal, they said that, York Castle is their past school. They have the best sixth form, and they, students are gravitating toward the sixth form, and any means possible for these students to be comfortable, even if it's still, put 1 and 2 together for this to happen, it will be done. And I put my trust in this person because when I was doing my ambassador pageant at St. Hilda's High School, this was the same source that I relied on for my project, and they did come through. So my trust is there. In terms of the JN Bank, I went and I gave the information managers this letter, and they said that this will be sent to the headquarters in Kingston. But that is not my only source to get the prayer garden renovated. I have already went to different hardwares to got the sponsorships to renovate this prayer garden. So, if elected, that these duties will be carried out. So you have my word.
Thank you, Ms. Davison. I was just going to ask you, what's your plan B if these, sponsorship do not work out? But you mentioned the hardwares. But have you made an agreement with either of the management?
Could you expound a bit more on that question?
Are you able to confirm that you will receive sponsorship from these organizations?
I will not have a backup plan because these plans will work out.
Very well, Ms. Davidson. Ms. Watson, your manifesto states that you'll work with the senior VP to promote activities that will bridge the gap between grade 12 and 13. What are some of these activities you plan to implement?
Well, I hope to host a social event, probably like every month, where I just be like, we'll come together, talk and stuff, and try to bridge the gap so you have more interaction. Or, well, I came up with the idea to seek approval from management to probably find an area on the school compound where it could be dedicated to sixth formers. So they will have more grade 12s and 13s there, and there would be more interaction, therefore bridging the gap.
The activity, the movie nights, will be done via the online platform. So how will you engage students who struggle with internet connectivity or those who only have access to the internet during the daytime?
So seeing that we'd have, if it's a majority of the school population, we would have to come up with a different idea to engage the students, a different social event every term. And if it's not really the majority, we could try to seek sponsorship to get them phone cards to actually put on a plan to come and watch the movies.
Okay, Ms. Watson, thank you. Your manifesto states, and I quote, "If elected, I aim to represent the grade 12 to the best of my abilities and listen to all concerns and try my best to resolve all of them," end quote. This sounds a bit cliche, don't you think, Ms. Watson? What new ideas do you wish to bring to the SFA?
Well, as matters arise, I would come up with some different creative means because right now I'm not really knowledgeable of most of the problems that are currently occurring. But whenever I'm knowledgeable of most or all of them, then I could come up with different ideas.
Okay, thank you. Also with you, Ms. Watson. Any good leader needs to understand what was achieved during the reign of the previous administration in order to pick up the baton and continue to strive towards that specific goal. Current grade 13 student Paul Jones is the outgoing junior VP for the SFA. How would you describe his reign and what will you do to ensure that his legacy is strengthened?
Well, to be honest, I don't know what really happened in his reign because I wasn't aware of that.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Ms. Davidson, Natania Watson is the sitting PRO for the Students' Council, which means that she'll probably have the support of all counselors. Do you think you're being placed in a disadvantageous situation right now?
Well, thank you for that question, Miss Brianna. As Miss Natania is not really aware of Mr. Paul Jones' tenure during as president, Mr. Paul was coming from Ferncourt himself as the head boy, and he was against Mr. Lennon Richards, meaning that, you know, Lennon was a popular student. He was a part of the basketball team, A player and all the stuff. So more of the students would gravitate towards him. And he's coming from Ferncourt. He has to now put himself in that position to say, hey, I am worth this position. He even got Mr. Marshanique Fuller, Mr. Andrew McIntosh to be a part of his campaign. I am coming from St. Hilda just to say, my new student coming to the new environment. The students, you know, how they're going to trust me and vote for me? They have seen my manifesto, they have seen my position, they have seen how I've worked. I cannot tell them that, you know, everyone has to, you know, there's going to be segregation, right? Because that is that Miss Natania is the PRO for the council. So the persons know of her works and what she's capable of. Well, I am imploring you viewers right now that you can trust me. I will work and I will be able to execute these duties to the best of my abilities. And I come not with any empty barrel promises. So just trust me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. So, Ms. Watson, after being assured that you have the support of the Students' Council, is it that you are abusing the fact by not campaigning as much?
Well, this election was very short noticed, and I'm not abusing the fact that I'm not campaigning. I was ill yesterday, and I couldn't actually. This morning is when I actually did my speech. I was unable to do the speech yesterday and published it when it was supposed to. So no, I'm not abusing it. I intend to campaign even more today, tomorrow, and Monday.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. Ms. Davidson, the B had speculated that a possible cohesion could flow amongst Amanda Slew, Samantha Blake, and yourself in the formation of a ticket. It has been confirmed, however, that Blake and Slew have been working closer together during their campaigning, but you have been campaigning independently. Is it that you have no confidence in the leadership of these two candidates?
Thank you for that question, Ms. Edwards. Well, just to start this off by saying Proverbs 27, verse 17, that as iron sharpeneth iron, so is one person to another. So this simple statement means that, over the years to understand that no one is alone, that in order to make yourself better, there is a mutual benefit, making others better through mentorship, fellowship, and leadership. Ms. Lou and I have worked in the youth parliamentarian. The whole world knows that. And I don't know, Miss Blake, is when the B actually made an article. I was like, hey, I don't really know this person, but since they have made speculations that there has been cohesion and maybe we're going to form a ticket to win this election, I have to source it out myself. But I'm not really in contact with Miss Blake. And in terms of independent campaigning, I have been, doing my thing. But in terms of, that and that, I would say that Miss Slew and Miss Blake and I are working together. And I have confidence in Miss Amanda and Miss Blake because they are strong candidates and they're in upper six. So, the grade 13s know them and what they're capable of. And last year, Miss Slew was the public relations officer for sixth form. So the other students would have known of her works and what she is capable of. I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. So coming right back to you soon. Ms. Watson, you have mentioned that you intended to work with the senior vice president if you're elected as junior vice president. Odera Valentine, Athena Rowe, Samantha Blake. Who are you supporting for the senior vice president?
Well, I am supporting whoever wins. As you know, me and Athena are friends. Me and Odero, we are classmates. We have worked together. And I don't really have much relationship with the other person, but I don't want to be in the middle of anything. So I don't have a support. I'm supporting whoever wins.
Fair enough. Thank you, Ms. Watson. Ms. Davidson, you would have mentioned it that it is widely known that you work closely with presidential candidate Amanda Slew during your time as youth parliamentarian. What are your thoughts on her rejection to participate in this year's presidential debate? And does she have your vote?
Well, the person that has my vote for presidential is rather confidential. I will not disclose that. And in terms of Ms. Slew rejecting the debate, that is of her, understanding or confidence. I do not know why she has rejected this, but that is not my concern, and I have no comment on that.
Thank you, Ms. Davidson. Ms. Watson, Kia Murray Brown, Amanda Slew, Candice Hare, Kishawn Ward. Who are you supporting for this year's 2022 SFA president?
I have no comment on that.
All right. Thank you, candidates. We'll take another break here on the B broadcast as we continue to speak with candidates vying for the position of junior vice president in the SFA elections. Welcome back to the B broadcast, brought to you by the B Broadcasting Commission, sponsored by the Castle High School Students Council. We're speaking with candidates Shanice Davidson and Nathania Watson, both vying for the position of Junior Vice President in the SFA elections. In this segment, candidates will be allowed to throw out some questions, 1 to 5 questions to each other. The candidate respondent is given 2 minutes and 30 seconds to respond. We'll begin with Ms. Davidson.
All right, thank you. My question to you, Ms. Watson, your manifesto, it is rather, at one section, the movie night, it rather shows vanity and it shows rather platitudes. How is that going? How is that going? It rather shows apprenticeship type of movement, like you're new to the system.
Ms. Watson, you can go ahead, please.
And what is the question exactly?
Your manifesto, how is it not different from the other candidates that were over the other years? It rather shows cliche, lacks originality, if you're not really sure what vanity means or platitude.
You're not really asking a question, you're making a statement.
I asked the question, your manifesto, how is it not different from the other candidates over the year? Because it shows lack of originality and it is cliche.
Well, that manifesto was basically made up in an idea to brainstorm ideas. And persons, the Glory Castle right now is made up of persons who know me and know what I'm capable of. They have seen my actions and what I've brought forward. So they know that, yeah, I may have made up something that's what you consider simple-minded, but I have bigger and better things planned.
Miss Berna, is it vice versa? I go, then she go, or ask my 5?
Well, yes, but I was just waiting for you to say that she answered the question. So, Ms. Watson, your question to Ms. Davidson, please.
Well, it is often said, man a plan and God a wife. So my question to you is, if plans should not materialize, are you suggesting that the sixth form block will not benefit from your offer or the donation, because you say basically you don't have a plan B, and how will you get funds if those don't come through to renovate the fire garden and help to renovate the sixth form block?
Well, obviously you don't know who I am, but I understand where you're coming from. When you talk to the persons of resource around you and persons of authority around you, why would you fret? And to correct you, I did not say that I was going to build the entire block. I said that I was going to, put in an assistance, a 1 and 2 stuff. That's what I said, just to correct you. And in terms of people, they have plan A and plan B, and I said that I will not have a backup plan because I am confident that my plans will work out. I am confident that my plans will work out. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davidson. Your question, please.
Okay, so Miss Watson, you have rather said that you don't know or you don't know about Mr. Paul Jones and during his tenure as vice president. Are you saying that you're really not interested in the position, or you don't take time to seek out and do your homework as to who was the immediate past junior vice president to see that how can you be different from this person or that candidate, or you just want to say, hey, this position will look good on my resume?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself so you can understand where I'm coming from, okay? Well, first of all, this was very short notice. We got a call Tuesday night, then we had to start doing things Wednesday and stuff. But I'm a science student. That means that I do all the sciences. I was elected to be the PRO at the time. I was running a study group and among other stuff. And I'm a relatively a sick person in a sense. I have asthma. So, and I don't think Paul Jones was really effective in a sense because I didn't hear about anything that he did, and I plan to make a difference. not just the sixth form association will know about me, but the entire school will know who Nathania Watson is. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. Your question, please.
Ms. Davidson, according to research, I have gathered that your tenure at York Castle it began last year, October. Yeah. So since that person don't really know who you are, what do you plan to do, or what ways have you explored, or have you ensured you have built a relationship with students?
Well, you have said that persons may not know me, but you are actually incorrect. Quoting in Jamaican Creole, my grandmother would say, "You're just enough." At St. Hilda's, I have been talking to other persons at York Castle. So coming into the sixth form, it wasn't really nothing new for me. And would I say that, pardon. So I would not say that I am new to the system because persons know me. And, I think that they should trust me to lead them. Nothing, and I'm really not new to this whole thing. So if I answered your question, let me know.
No, you really and truly haven't.
How I plan to, engage with the other sixth form is that I plan to, reach out to them to have, one-on-one conversations with them to let them know who Shanice is and what she is capable of doing. I plan to, have a WhatsApp group with the grade 13s and grade 12s in it so that we can actually have a better understanding of each other. I am not the person to say that, after getting this position, I'm going to walk with my tail up in my back. No, that is not me. Shanice is a down-to-earth person, and that is that. They just have to trust me.
But why should they trust you?
They have seen my positions, Miss Watson. They have seen what those responsibilities are and what they require me to do. So becoming the junior vice president, it would be just like, say, a pleasure for me to come and serve you as a junior vice president, because I'm the youth parliamentarian of Jamaica. I am the parish coordinator for Saints, and as we speak and as we're sitting in this forum right now, that is a great responsibility. I would not say that a lot of persons in Saints have known me yet, but I am making moves. I am visited different constituencies, outreach. If you want pictures to see me on my outreach, you can inbox me for it. So you will see that I am actually making moves and I actually know what I am doing. So York Castle High School family, the Yorkies of grade 12 and grade 13, you just have to trust me to lead you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davidson. Your question, please.
Okay, so this is a bit unethical, but I had to bring it up. Over the years you have attended York Castle High School, Ms. Watson, because you're a true Yorkies, as they would say. You have been at the school from grade 7. An anonymous source told me that you have cheated in your exams. Why should the persons actually trust you to become their vice president? You have been an extortionist. You have been selling edibles on the school compound. Is that actually the roles and the things that someone would want for their junior vice president?
What evidence do you have that I've cheated in my exams? And well, evidence would be there for me receiving a sanction. So
it is an anonymous source, Miss Nathania, and it is a reliable
but
source.
you don't have any evidence that I have cheated?
They
Where's the
first,
evidence? A question like that, come with the evidence.
I will not give up my source, but the person is a true Yorkist that has been in your year time. So
Well, no one has evidence that I have cheated, because there's no evidence of that, okay? So if you're going to come to with a question, come clear and come correct, please and thank you. Next.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. Ms. Watson, your question, please. And I think we're going to wrap up right now with the questions.
Yes, I would like to wrap up. I have no further questions.
No further questions. How about you, Ms. Davidson?
one moment. Sorry about that. Miss Watson, you have said that the reason for your lateness of your manifesto and your speech is because of the short notice. The other candidates have however submitted on time. So is it that I don't really get the excuse that you're trying to make, because we're both in the same year group. I'm not sure, maybe you're a science student, I'm not sure, but I'm a humanities student that does law. Or time is of the essence. We don't really have time to do other stuff. So you saying that, was a short notice is not really much of an excuse, because others have submitted on time and presented their stuff. So that was really not an excuse to why your thing was late because of short notice. All of us are running and we did submit on time. Thank you, Ms. Edwards.
You're being very inconsiderate. Are you saying that I asked to be sick? If you want to know, I have asthma, which means during the cold time, your chest get tight and you can't breathe when you talk. I am here by myself, so I had to go next door to seek help from my neighbors. I had to go to the doctor yesterday to receive medicine. If you want evidence, I can go for the prescription right now and the asthma pump that I have received. Okay?
Ms. Edwards,
Reminding our candidates that this is not a debate, it's not a debate, just an interview. And thank you, candidates. A very interesting segment. We'll take our final break here on the B broadcast as we continue to speak with candidates vying for the position of Junior Vice President in the Sixth Form Association elections. Welcome back to the B broadcast, brought to you by the B Broadcasting Commission and sponsored by the Yorkcastle High School Students Council. This is our final segment in which our junior vice presidents will be given the chance to speak to the Yorkist family, telling them why they should vote them as the 2021-2022 Junior VP for the SFA. Each candidate will be given at least 3 minutes to give their closing remarks. And we'll begin with you, Ms. Davidson.
So pleasant day to the Yorkist family viewing here online. I am Shanice Davidson, as you know. Why you should vote for me? Just as how God had appointed David to, lead people, and he was just a little boy and he led them to victory. I too will do the same. Grade 13s, and you are saying that how can a little, grade 12, a little, short girl lead you? I come with plans, I come with implementations. It may seem as if it is impossible, but let me show you that nothing is impossible with me. I am a very down-to-earth person and I am approachable. I may come off a bit defensive when speaking because I am very passionate about this type of leading, advocating, and those stuff. Put leadership aside and all those other stuff, sports, I am the most, friendly person you can talk to. I am, you can come to me with any concerns, anything, because coming from my past school, St. Hilda's, I thought that, I didn't really involve myself much from grade 7 to grade 9 that much in leadership. But I realized that at the end of grade 9, coming to grade 11, and then coming on to Yorkcastle High School, I realized that I found my passion. Because, when someone finds their passion, it just drives them to continue to go further and further and nonstop until they have become the best. Not necessarily the best, but they have reached a level in where they want to be and they're comfortable. Let me serve you as junior vice president in this academic year. Do not be bewitched by false bribery or anything cliche. I will fulfill my promises. Vote Davidson, new vision, new direction. I thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Davidson. Ms. Watson, your closing remarks, please.
Good afternoon again. To my fellow Yorkists, you have seen and know my capabilities as student leader. I take this opportunity to express gratitude in believing in me, to nominate me. Win, lose, or draw, I can assure you this is not the last that you will hear of me. If elected, I guarantee you that I will work assiduously with all stakeholders to maintain and improve areas of our association. To my opponent, I have listened and I have learned. My best wishes are with you. And I will implore you, Yorkis, if you want a very constant leader, someone who knows you and will work around with you and get all of your concerns through and try my best to do what I can do and source other things for you, vote Nathaniel Watson to be your next junior vice president. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've heard from our candidates. Now the vote is in your hands to make the right choice at the polls on Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. Thank you both, Ms. Davis and Ms. Watson, for joining us today on the B broadcast, as we wish you all the very best during your campaign and, of course, the SFA elections. This was the B broadcast, brought to you by the B Broadcasting Commission, sponsored by the York High School Students Council. Until next time, have a good evening.